There was a young man named Daniel. He was 28 years old and lived in a small apartment in the city. Daniel was different from most people around him. He had big dreams. He wanted to build a successful career, travel to different countries, write a book, learn new languages, and become someone important. His mind was full of amazing ideas and plans. But there was a painful truth that Daniel tried to hide, even from himself. He was lazy. Every night before sleeping, Daniel would imagine his future. He would see himself giving speeches on big stages, living in a beautiful house, and being respected by everyone. These dreams made him feel excited and hopeful. But when morning came, everything changed. The alarm would ring at 6 a.m. Daniel would open his eyes, look at the ceiling and think, just 5 more minutes. Those 5 minutes would turn into an hour. By the time he woke up, he felt guilty and frustrated. He would tell himself, tomorrow will be different. Tomorrow I will start. But tomorrow never came. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Daniel kept dreaming, but he never took action. He would watch motivational videos on his phone and feel inspired for 10 minutes. Then he would scroll through social media for 3 hours. He would buy books about success, but never read them. He would write down goals in his notebook, but never look at them again. Deep inside, Daniel felt terrible. He felt like a failure. He was stuck between 2 painful feelings. He had ambition, which made him dream big, but he also had laziness, which stopped him from moving forward. One day, Daniel's younger cousin, Sophie, came to visit him. Sophie was only 22 years old, but she had already achieved so much. She had finished her degree, started her own small business, and was full of energy and confidence. When she walked into Daniel's apartment, she looked around and noticed something. The apartment was messy. There were unwashed dishes in the sink, clothes on the floor, and dust everywhere. Books were piled up, still wrapped in plastic. A guitar was sitting in the corner, covered with a thin layer of dust. Sophie sat down and asked gently, "Daniel, are you okay? You seem stuck." Daniel felt embarrassed. He tried to smile and said, "I'm fine, just busy, you know." But Sophie looked into his eyes and said, "Busy doing what? Be honest with me." Daniel's smile faded. He sat down heavily on the couch and said quietly, "I don't know, Sophie. I have so many dreams, but I can't seem to start anything. I feel like I'm ambitious, but I'm also incredibly lazy. I hate myself for it." Sophie didn't judge him. Instead, she told him a story. She said, "Let me tell you about someone I met last year. His name was Mr. Chen. He was a very successful architect. He had designed buildings in 5 different countries. When I met him at a conference, I asked him how he achieved so much. Do you know what he told me?" Daniel shook his head. Sophie continued, "He said, I used to be exactly like you. Ambitious but lazy. I had dreams, but I never worked on them. Then one day, I learned a simple truth that changed my life forever." Daniel leaned forward. He was listening carefully now. Sophie said, "Mr. Chen told me that ambition without action is just a fantasy. It's like having a car with no fuel. The car looks beautiful. It has potential, but it will never move. He said the real problem is not laziness. The real problem is that we wait for motivation to come before we start. But that's backwards." Daniel looked confused. He asked, "What do you mean backwards?" Sophie explained, "Most people think like this. First, I need to feel motivated. Then I will take action. Then I will see results. But Mr. Chen taught me the truth. The real order is different. First, you take action, even a tiny action. Then you see a small result. Then motivation comes naturally. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Daniel sat in silence. This idea felt strange but powerful. Sophie then gave him a challenge. She said, "Daniel, I want you to try something for the next 7 days. It's very simple. Every morning, as soon as you wake up, do just one small thing before you touch your phone. Just one thing. It could be making your bed. It could be doing 10 push-ups. It could be writing one sentence in a journal. Just one small action. Don't think about it. Don't wait to feel motivated. Just do it immediately." Daniel felt uncertain. He said, "But that's too small. How will that help me achieve my big dreams?" Sophie smiled and said, "That's exactly the mistake ambitious people make. They think everything must be big and perfect, so they never start. But here's the secret. Small actions build momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence builds bigger actions. It's like pushing a heavy car. The first push is the hardest, but once it starts moving, it becomes easier and easier." Daniel thought about it. He decided to try. What did he have to lose? The next morning, his alarm rang at 6 a.m. Daniel opened his eyes and immediately felt the old familiar feeling, the desire to go back to sleep. But then he remembered Sophie's words. He sat up, put his feet on the floor, and made his bed. It took only 2 minutes. He didn't think about it. He just did it. When he finished, something strange happened. He felt a tiny spark of energy. It wasn't much, but it was something. The next day, he did it again. He made his bed, and then he did 10 push-ups. His body felt heavy and weak, but he finished them. On the third day, he made his bed, did 10 push-ups, and wrote 3 sentences in a journal. Each day, he felt a little bit stronger. By the end of the week, Daniel noticed something amazing. He wasn't waiting for motivation anymore. He was creating it. After 2 weeks, Daniel started waking up without feeling heavy. He began working on small projects. He picked up the guitar and practiced for 15 minutes. He read 10 pages of a book. He applied for one job opportunity. None of these actions were huge, but together, they were changing him. The apartment was cleaner. His mind was clearer. His confidence was growing. 1 month later, Sophie came to visit again. When she walked in, she stopped and smiled. The apartment looked completely different. It was clean and organized. Daniel was sitting at his desk, working on his laptop. He looked focused and alive. Sophie said, "Daniel, what happened to you?" Daniel looked up and smiled. He said, "You were right, Sophie. I learned the truth. I was waiting for some magical motivation to fall from the sky. But motivation doesn't work that way. Action comes first. Results come second. Motivation comes last. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm moving forward. And that's all that matters." Sophie felt proud. She said, "You've discovered the secret that most people never learn. Ambitious people who stay lazy are waiting for the perfect moment. But successful people know there is no perfect moment. There is only this moment. And the only question is, what will you do with it?" Daniel nodded. He had changed. He was no longer the person who dreamed without doing. He was becoming the person who acted despite not feeling ready. And that made all the difference. If you're someone who has big dreams but struggles to take action, this story is for you. Remember, you don't need to feel motivated to start. You just need to start, and motivation will follow. Give this video a like if it spoke to you. Share it with someone who needs this message, and subscribe to Wordy Lessons for more life-changing stories that teach you English and powerful lessons at the same time. Thank you for watching. See you in the next story. Until then, Stop waiting, start doing, and watch your life transform.